Glad you could join us again this week. Last week we talked about Abraham. I hope you had a chance to do some of the fun activities we had available for you online. If you haven't had a chance to do that yet, they're still there. Just go to the church's website. And as always, in all of our stories that we've had so far, a lot happens between the story we read last week and the story we're going to read this week. So I hope you get a chance to go back and read some of that and fill in some of the blanks. This week we're going to talk about Joseph and his brothers. Could there be some sibling rivalry there? Why don't you guys go grab your Bibles and we'll all find out together. So this week we're going to be reading from Genesis chapter 37, verse 1 through 36, and it's Joseph and his brothers. Jacob continued to live in the land of Canaan where his father had lived, and this is the story of Jacob's family. Joseph, a young man of 17, took care of the sheep and goats with his brothers. He brought bad reports to his father about what his brothers were doing. Jacob loved Joseph more than any of the other sons because he had been born to him when he was old. He made a long robe with full sleeves for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved Joseph more than he loved them, they hated their brother so much that they would not speak to him in a friendly manner. One time, Joseph had a dream, and when he told his brothers about it, they hated him even more. He said, "Listen to the dream I had. We are all in the field tying up sheaves of wheat, when my sheaf got up and stood up straight. Yours formed a circle around mine and bowed down to it. Do you think you're going to be king and rule over us?" his brothers asked. So they hated him even more because of his dreams and because of what he said about them. Then Joseph had another dream. He told his brothers, "I had another dream in which I saw the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing down to me." He also told the dream to his father, and his father scolded him. "What kind of dream is that? Do you think that your mother, your brothers, and I are going to bow down to you?" Joseph's brothers were jealous of him, but his father kept thinking about the whole matter. Joseph is sold and taken to Egypt. One day when Joseph's brothers had gone to Shechem to take care of their father's flock, Jacob said to Joseph, "I want you to go to Shechem where your brothers are taking care of the flock." Joseph answered, "I am ready." His father told him, "Go and see if your brothers are safe and if the flock is all right. Then come back and tell me." So his father sent him on his way from the Hebron Valley. Joseph arrived in Shechem and was wandering around in the country when a man saw him and asked him, "What are you looking for?" "I am looking for my brothers who are taking care of the flock," he answered. "Can you tell me where they are?" Then the man said, "They have already left. I heard them say that they were going to Dothan." So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. They saw him in the distance, and before he reached them, they plotted against him and decided to kill him. They said to one another, "There comes that dreamer. Come on now, let's kill him and throw his body into one of the dry wells. We can say that a wild animal killed him. Then we will see what becomes of his dreams." Reuben heard them and tried to save Joseph. "Let's not kill him," he said. "Just throw him in this well in the wilderness, but do not hurt him." He said this, planning to save him from them and send him back to his father. When Joseph came up to his brothers, they ripped off his long robe with full sleeves. Then they took him and threw him in the well, which was dry. While they were eating, they suddenly saw a group of Ishmaelites traveling from Gilead to Egypt. Their camels were loaded with spices and resins. Judah said to his brothers, "What will we gain by killing our brother and covering up the murder? Let's sell him to the Ishmaelites. Then we won't have to hurt him. After all, he is our brother, our own flesh and blood." His brothers agreed, and when some Midianite traders came by, the brothers pulled Joseph out of the well and sold him for 20 pieces of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. When Reuben came back to the well and found that Joseph was not there, he tore his clothes in sorrow. He turned to his brothers and said, The boy is not there. What am I going to do? Then they killed a goat and dipped Joseph's robe in its blood. They took the robe to their father and said, "We have found this. Does it belong to your son?" He recognized it and said, "Yes, it is his. Some wild animal has killed him. My son Joseph has been torn to pieces." Jacob tore his clothes in sorrow and put on sackcloth. He mourned for his son for a long time. All his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted and said, "I will go down to the world of the dead, still mourning for my son." So he continued to mourn for his son Joseph. Meanwhile, in Egypt, the Midianites had sold Joseph to Potiphar, one of the king's officers, who was the captain of the palace guard. That was an amazing story. And just as I suspected, there was some sibling rivalry going on there. Do you ever experience that with your brothers and sisters if you have them? Everyone does to some extent. I myself have 5 brothers and sisters, and Jack has 3 brothers and sisters. And here are their pictures, and I can guarantee you growing up, there were definitely some disagreements going on. But fortunately, nothing to the extent of what Joseph experienced with his brothers. And the nice thing is, now that we're all grown up, we get along fine. If you've got brothers and sisters, do something nice for them. Don't let them know you're doing it. Just do something nice. If you don't have brothers and sisters, reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Just reach out, say hello, check and see how they're doing. It can be a grandparent, it can be an aunt or uncle, best friend, friend from school, anybody that you want to talk to. I hope you enjoyed this week's activities that we'll have available online again. And finally, I'd like to recognize all of our friends that are moving up from kindergarten to 1st grade and everybody that is moving up from 6th grade to middle school in the fall. We just want to wish you guys the best. We're very excited for all you guys that are moving up. The kindergartners that will be moving up to 1st grade in the fall are Elizabeth, Sawyer, Allie, Kyle, Gabby, Mallory, Grant, Camden, Grayson, and Cooper. We know you guys are going to have a great year. It might be a little bit different than what you've had in the past, but nevertheless, it's going to be so much fun. You're going to have a lot of new first experiences. The kids that are moving on up from 6th grade to middle school this year are Connor, Wyatt, Cooper, Olivia, Seth, Sydney, and Charlotte. We've enjoyed the last 3 years with you guys. We're going to miss having you in our class, and I have a special message for you.
4th, 5th, and 6th grade class. I know this has been a different year, and we haven't been able to be together. On that, we've really missed having you in our class. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, we've really enjoyed while you were in the class. Special note to our 6th graders that are getting ready to move up into the 7th grade and junior high. Going to be moving up with Monica and Bob. But I know they're going to do a great job with you, leading you forward. We couldn't have asked for a better group of 6th graders in our class. Hate to see you go, but glad to see that you are moving on. Never be afraid to reach out. If you have a question, we'll always be there for you. And I hope you're able to enjoy the rest of your summer.
Again, Jack and I have really enjoyed having you in our class, and don't forget, we're always here for you no matter what you're doing. We hope you get involved in Some Life. There's all kinds of great activities that Monica and Bob are planning. So this summer, go to the website and check out the Some Life activities that Monica and Bob have planned for you. Now, as a special treat for all of our friends that are moving up, follow me outside. Yeah, in honor of all the kids that came to Crossroads Sunday School this year, and in recognition of all the kids that are moving up from kindergarten to 1st grade and 6th grade to middle school, don't forget that God's with you every step of the way. He's got a plan for you, and remember, He said, "I am your God and you are my people." So don't be afraid to spread your wings as soar as high as you can.